G'day guys, goeiedag, kia ora. My name is Wildkard. Thank you for watching the Wildkard Rugby Show. Like, comment, and subscribe. And yes, you are here today because the third week of November International Test Series Autumn Nations is this weekend. And boy, I really need the Wallabies to bounce off, man. But to bounce off the dip. Oh my god, everything's been terrible. The market has been going down. I'm losing money left and right. And I just wish the Wallabies would win this one this weekend and give me a little bit more of a reprieve. But hey, I'm wearing the Irish jersey. I think Ireland at home, Lansdowne Road, it's going to be really, really hard. But hey, there's nothing else I can do but wishing for the best. So yeah, let's go through some of the big games this weekend and my predictions on some of the results. So yeah, first up, the mighty, reigning, defending world champions, the Springboks, will be visiting Italy. I guess like a reply trip. This will be the third time the two teams has played this year. They played two tests in July. And yeah, the Springboks is going to be showing up in Italy with a very, very interesting and different team this weekend than what we saw even in July when they played against Italy. Maybe a more of a conservative style that we're going to be seeing with 100 Polo at 10. But overall, I think this might be a bit of a scare for the Springboks, to be honest. I'm not too confident on the selections here with the Rassie Erasmus lineup here. I think there's just some of these players haven't played with each other with sufficient time, and I just don't see a clear point of advantage over the Italians, considering how good the Italians has been playing recently. So yeah, we're gonna look at that in a second. So first up, one of the big controversies come out of this game is that Rassie, the doctor of the rugby, is always thinking about the game, and he has decided to only put two front rowers on the bench, breaking the tradition of having three front rowers with an additional hooker on the bench. Obviously, the Springboks is very dynamic. You've got Steenekamp and Marco van Staden, who's playing at 8. Both can play hooker. Van Staden actually played the Rugby World Cup as a reserve hooker when Bungi was out. I'm pretty sure he did some of the smaller games, but obviously they don't have Dion Ferry, but still going into that, following that same path for the Springboks, having players with additional capabilities, especially in that loose forward positions, is really, really important for Rassie Erasmus in terms of building towards speed. This allow him to open up an extra spot for a lock or another loose forward in that substitution spot. Now, some of you guys might be asking, is this legal? Technically, it is. The requirements are only 2 specialist front rowers required for 16 and 17. So there's no, locked-in requirement for a third hooker as on the bench. You just need 2 minimum for the 2 props, and the Springboks fulfill that. And in terms of the hooker, like I said, they have a number of ways to cover that, should that be required, but it's not necessarily a requirement to have a hooker on the bench. A lot of teams just have one for the benefit of a peace of mind. This game, obviously, James Dolman from New Zealand, much better referee than before now. I think that, some of his interpretations are very close to the Super Rugby interpretation. And again, with the 20-minute red card in play, with a lot of mistakes around, I think James Dolman will actually get that right. Should anything happen for the 20-minute red card, the Diakha instance still going on everywhere in my channel. Like I said, I think the Diakha instance, it's either a red, like a full send-off, or a 20-minute red. It's just on the borderline there, but it cannot be a yellow. It's just in the borderline there. Depends how you look at it. But it is what it is, and I think that James Dolman, once again, will not be making stupid mistakes like Mike Adamson, right? Sending people off for a punch for a 20-minute red card. So he's definitely going to do that, which is a good thing there. Hopefully we'll see a bit more consistency. And again, the third Allianz Stadium in the world, apparently. Allianz Stadium in Italy. What is it? Torino. This is obviously the England's Twickenham is now Allianz. Australia Rugby Australia, his headquarters here at Moore Park. It's also Allianz. So yeah, third Allianz Stadium, Italy. A bit of cloudy, not too much. Hopefully it's not too wet. A bit of humidity, but hopefully not going to be too slippery or grubby on the ground there. History between the two sides. There has been one loss to the mighty Springboks in its history. 20 points to 18 in Italy. To Italy in Florence in 2016. So it's not out of the question that Italians could win this one, considering how good they have been going, and this combination that we're going to be seeing for the Springboks. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a record that the Rassi Rasmus want to have on his record, but he's feeling pretty confident after pretty much blowing the Italians out of the water in a 2-test series. And remember that they actually taunted Italy a little bit with a drop, with a kickoff, immediately going for a scrum, having a deliberate short kickoff and having Esther Hazen like picking up the ball immediately. Yeah, that's a bit of a taunt from Rassi for the Italians bringing the B team to South Africa. But again, this is gonna be, boy, I really hope that Rassi hasn't taken the Italians lightly, because the Italians has been working a lot on their structure, has been working a lot on the very basic style of rugby, just in the fundamentals and not giving away penalties. And just, yeah, I think, if the Springboks want to brute force their way into a penalty and then try to win it that way, it's not going to be as easy as they might think. So yeah, let's have a look at the lineup for the two sides, and let's see if the Springboks got enough to pull this one through. So in the front rowers for the Italian now, Danilo Fischetti comes in number 1. Giacomo Nicotera comes in number 2, and Marco Riccioni comes in number 3 for the front rowers for the Italians. Quite a bit of experience actually over the South Africans. We got the Fat Thor Fenter comes in at number 1, Johan Huebler number 2, and Zachary Potham. This is his debut, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the second test, and this is a new guy. No, I'm pretty sure this is his debut for the Springboks at a tight head position. So fairly new, but we know Fenter has done a pretty good job for the Springboks, and Huebler as well. But yeah, again, the lack of game time together, the scrum, I'm sure it's going to be okay, but in terms of the overall combination around the park, big question mark there. Coming number 4, Nicolo Canone for the Italians. Andrea Zambonin comes in number 5 for Italians. For the Springboks, John Klang number 4. Franco Mostert comes in at number 5. No Ibn Nesbeth this time around, and no Franco Mostert. A new combination here for this is not a new combination, but this is a complete change in the locks here as well for the Springboks for this year. Number 6, Ross Vincent for the Azuris. Manu Zuliani number 7, and Lorenzo Canone comes in at number 8 for the Italians. Sia Khaleesi, the captain, gets open side flanker for number 6. Ben Jason Dixon, after contract negotiations, finally he's getting that number 7 jersey. I'm pretty sure he signed with the Bulls till 2028, so he's definitely happy at least, and he's getting the chance here, number 7. Interestingly, they haven't put him at the at number 8. I'm pretty sure he plays number 8, right? Or is he just? Or am I getting him confused with Hanekom? But anyway, he's coming in at number 7, and Marco van Staden comes in at number 8, an additional hooker option for the Springboks. Coming in number 9, Stephen Varney for the Italian, and 10, Pablo Gabisi. He's just been really, really good for the Italians, especially when it comes to goal kicking as well. The overall kicking game has been very well managed by this guy. For the Springboks, More Vanderberg comes in number 9, and then Andre Pollard, the double World Cup winner, comes in number 10 with I think this is going to be a completely different game plan for the Springboks. Probably more goal kicking, probably more penalty driven style instead of the try scoring style. And also this is going to be a lot of heavy lifting from Andre Pollard, and when it comes to the direction, the options that he wants to pursue on the field there as well. In the back, in the number 11 jersey comes the Monty Ioane, and then for the Springboks, number 11, Curti Adensa returns. Number 12 and 13 for the Italians, Tommaso Menocello. Number 13, Juan Ignacio Brex for the Italians. For the Springboks, again, a little bit light in the setup position. Ethan, not a hooker, comes in at number 12. Kanan Moody, number 13. Kanan Moody has played 13 quite extensively for the Springboks in the past, but Ethan Hooker has been mostly winger, and this might be the first time he played hooker for the Springboks. Maybe he was substituted for the hooker at some point, for the center at some point. I'm pretty sure this is the first time for the international level that I've seen Ethan Hooker at inside center. He does play center for his club rugby, my understanding is. But this is a big step up. And again, the Italians defensively and the breakdown is quite a lot of pressure at the 12 position there. They like to apply a lot of pressure there with their forwards. So it's going to be difficult, I think, for Hooker to deal with. This could be a point of difference overall in the game. But then it's fine because they got Esterhuizen on the bench. If Ethan is struggling too much, they could potentially put Esterhuizen on to patch up the situation. Louis Liner comes in number 14. And then finally, number 15, Agin Capuazzo, probably the best player in the Italian side, comes in at the fullback position. For the Springboks, Edvil van der Merwe, who's literally a carbon copy of Kurt Alonso, will be coming in number 14. And finally, the greatest Springbok in the, since maybe not anymore, David Willemse, coming in number 15. So, yeah, a lot of heavy lifting here. The Springboks might have a bit of a speed advantage and a bit of a with the wingers, but yeah, it's not. There's going to be a fair bit of heavy lifting for Handré Pollard and Damien Willemse when it comes to playing the kicking game, and maybe a more penalty focused style overall. I mean, like under the high ball, I think Van der Merwe and Kurt Alonso might be a little bit better than Monty Ioane and Louis Liner there overall. In the bench now, let's have a look at the Tommaso Di Bartolomeo. Comes in number 16. Mirko Spagorno comes in number 17. And Simone Ferrari comes in number 18. For the Springboks, Camp comes in number 16. And Wilco Low, number 17. No hooker. Achia Sneeman, or you can see the biggest and tallest hooker in the world, comes in number 18, I guess. And then we've got Federico Raza comes in number 19 for the Italians. Ruan Nokia comes in number 19. He's moved down to the bench. Number 20, Riccardo Fervetto for the Italian. And Andre Esterhuizen, my favorite player currently in the world right now, comes in on the bench at number 20. This man, oh boy, this man gets me excited just thinking about rugby. At number 21, we got David Odiaz for the Italians. And Albertus Smith comes in number 21. Finally, number 22, we got Martin Page Relo for the Italians, and Tommaso Allen, number 23, as a pretty much all cover for the back line. We've got Grant Williams coming number 22, and Manny Lobok has been outstanding in terms of coming onto the field and spice things up and really changing the dynamic of the game for a different style of kicking game and different style of running attack game. And he will be definitely make a massive change when he comes onto the field for Handré Pollard. Number 23 might be the point of difference here for the Springboks. So overall, I think this is going to be really tight. I think it might not be as big of a gap as we think it's going to be. I think the Springboks might just edge this one, 21 points to 18. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go any closer than that, but let me know your thoughts on this one. Moving on, the next big game of the weekend is the mighty English versus the building to the future All Blacks, I guess, on the line. By the way, I do think that this is one of the great opportunities for England side to really take like a massive step forward for to claim themselves as a top tier rugby team again by beating the All Blacks this weekend at Twickenham. It is definitely up for grabs, but it's one of the things where if the English wins, hopefully they don't just go back and become complacent, thinking they're the best in the world and start kicking goals and running down the clock, and hopefully they have to continue to push themselves forward, to improve. If they, every time, every year, I guess this is kind of like Eddie Jones disease. Every time the English beats the All Blacks, they become, oh my God, yeah, best in the world, beating the All Blacks, nothing better than that, according to Eddie Jones, and they become complacent for many years after that. So hopefully the England take this opportunity and really don't make the mistake should they win, by taking a step backwards. The referee for the week, it's going to be Andrea Piatti. Oh boy, hopefully they never give him a passport to come back to Australia. And then we've got the weather. I took him a bit of rain leading into it, so it might be a bit wet and a bit of grubby weather. But at least it's probably not going to be raining whilst the game is playing. The history of the two teams, like I said, Every time England wins, they just go on to like a massive losing streak against the All Blacks. Oh boy, Eddie Jones, beating the All Blacks is such a great feeling, and then just kind of, yeah, I mean, it is one of the things where, yeah, you can see like, it's a bit of a trend, I think, but hopefully the England side, Borthwick really gets that culture out of the England team. In terms of the results, England's been on a massive winning streak, believe it or not. Other than losing the Ireland, they've bounced back against France, really bounced off the low, and starting to climb back on the pretty nice winning streak run. And a lot of the emphasis that England side is coming up with a strong finish with the bench. The All Blacks on the other side, 50-50, definitely on a bit of a peak back themselves after losing to the Springboks at the Tin Can. So beating the Wallabies, beating the Irish, and then Scotland last week as well. Very tight game, still a lot of work to do for the New Zealand side, but two teams peaking at the same time. This will be a absolutely outstanding game to behold. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the players that'll be representing their respective nations in this absolute chess match between black and white pieces. So we got Finn Baxter, the babyface, coming in number 1. Jamie George, the veteran, coming number 2, and Joey Hayes finish off the front row at number 3. For the All Blacks, we got Ethan the Great coming in number 1, Cody Taylor number 2, and Fletcher Newell, the same setup as they did last week against the Scottish. Mario Itoje gets caught up at number 4. He was off the bench for 10 minutes last week, and Alex Cole comes in at number 5 for the locks. So Itoje had a bit of break. He'll be back leading the pack at the captaincy. Scooter Barrett comes in number 4. Fabian Holland has been so good for the All Blacks, coming in number 5. I'm pretty sure this is the same setup for the All Blacks. Maybe they had a different guy here, number 4, because anyway, I can't remember, but there's not that much changes here. Fabian Holland and Scotty Barrett for the locks. In the loose forwards for the England side, Guy Pepper gets the number 6 jersey. Sam Underhill in the open side flanker, and Ben Earl retains the number 8 jersey to finish off the match. I guess they have the basically the you could say the maybe you can see the triple open side flanker setup, or maybe you could say it's like the triple I guess number 8 setup. So all of these guys I guess could play number 8 and an open side at some point. But yeah, the speed at the breakdown is one of the key emphasis here that this Steve Borthwick is focusing on. Simon Parker comes in number 6, showing off to be quite a bit of workhorse for this All Blacks. Number 7, Adi Savia, always absolutely outstanding, inspirational, inspirational leadership on the field. And Peter Lakai has been surprisingly good for, in my opinion, at number 8, being able to a lot of very strong carries. Despite I thought he'd probably be better at number 7, Adi Savia number 8. But, lots of strong carries, and that size he brings as well is really, really impressive on the field. Peter Lakai also plays open side flanker for the club rugby. So, again, kind of matches up with the England side in terms of having more speedier players in that 7 and 8 spot overall. Coming in number 9, Alex Mitchell for the England side. And then number 10, George Ford returns to the fold. He has been on a bit of a rising on a bit of a rise on his career after the outstanding performance in July against the Argentinians with the B team. So he's back in the fold. He's signed with England Rugby to 27, I believe, and always calm, always deadly, and he's someone that can carry a lot of pressure and still deliver absolutely outstanding results. And drop goal is definitely back in the books for England should they need it, with George Ford on the field. 109 test caps, my goodness, he's over. I think I had his 100 in July, maybe not that long ago, and boy, he's been quite a veteran that the England side has been reliably getting some time recently. Cameron Roygar comes in at number 9 for the All Blacks. Again, the 9 battle here is so huge. Alex Mitchell is someone who likes to run the ball, who likes to direct traffic, who spices things up around the rocks, for the Saints quite a lot. And, Roygar does pretty much that as well for the Hurricanes and for the All Blacks as well. Just two extremely impactful players out of the 9 jersey matching up here. And number 10 for the All Blacks, Bowden. He's got 130 test caps already. Oh, my goodness. Felt like it wasn't that long ago in the November Test series against Wales, where Beauden Barrett came out teary-eyed, getting his 100th Test cap. But boy, it's 130 this weekend. My God, that's been quite a journey for him to really yeah, to really get up here to the hundredth to this point in his career. But yeah, Bodie. I mean, it's interesting because I thought this is kind of like two veterans battling out. Bowden Barrett's not quite the same speedy, run style that he has before. Both guys will be playing the kicking game quite a bit this weekend, and yeah, we'll have to see how the veterans match up. I do think the goal kicking might be more advantageous to George Ford. So yeah, we'll have to see if Bowden's going to spice things up and bring back some of that running game that we'll be missing out of him for quite some time now. Coming up 11, Fai Wambusu, the England side, like last week, just full of energy. Really good to see. And Leicester Fainga Nuku, I'm pretty sure he was a centre last week. After center last week, gets moved to number 11 jersey. Fraser Dingwall was outstanding for England, especially against the Wallabies. They've been really I thought they've really done a bit of a he's better than what I expecting, but I do think that there are things that he can definitely actually no, this is not Dingwall that got the Wallabies. It was Tom Rubeck. Dingwall was okay, I think. Yeah, let me know your thoughts about Dingwall. I thought it was okay overall. But yeah, let me know your thoughts about Dingwall at number 12. Ollie Lawrence comes in number 13, who was really good. I thought there was a maybe communication issue between some of the players in the back line last week. A bit of frustration with some of the passes not going to hands. But again, I think that the players need to manage their emotions a little bit better to get better results there. For the All Blacks, with Quinn Tupaia coming number 12, Billy Proctor gets moved up from the bench number 13. Tom Rubeck number 14. I think Tom Rubeck was really, really good for the England ever since he's been added into the team. Leroy Carter, on the other hand, a lot of you guys not happy with his performance. That trip last week was a bit of a brain fart as a professional player. That should not be the case. But then again, he's still quite young, new to the international testing, and he's definitely got the talent. Just needs some game time and needs some right direction to get himself to the next level. Finally, Freddie Stewart comes in number 15. Again, emphasis on the kicking game, emphasis on potentially the high ball game. Will Jordan, someone really good out of the high ball as well, and really good kicking game, comes in at number 15 for the All Blacks. In the bench, we've got Luke Cowan-Dickie comes in number 16 for England. Ellis Genge, number 17, and Will Stewart. Again, loading out of the bench is the thing once again for the England side to try to pummel off the squad of the All Blacks late in the game. One of the interesting fact is that both these teams has a little bit of a trend recently of finishing the game stronger than they started. Yeah, so the All Blacks really put the Wallabies away late. The All Blacks put Scotland away late. They put Ireland away late. England as well. The what they call the Palm squad coming off the bench has been really, really impactful against pretty much all of their opponents recently as well. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of the finishers is going to be stronger, which one of them is going to be more effective. I do think that England might have a bit of an edge here in terms of their structure play. So Somerset Taukiaho coming number 16, Tamati Williams number 17, and Pasilio Tossi number 18. So the scrummaging is going to be absolutely brutal in the second half of the game. And then we've got Chandler Cunningham South, again, another physical guy, just absolutely belting people left and right against the Wallabies. So physical, so good. And we've got Josh Law comes in number 19. Tom Curry, number 20, has been outstanding for England for his entire career. And Wallace Titi will be coming off the bench as an impact player. And number 20, England has been more, happy with the 6-2 with Henry Pollock. The blonde assassin, babyface assassin, will be coming up at number 21. Cortez Ratama will be coming off the bench as a number 9 reserve for the All Blacks. Ben Spencer for the England, and finally Marcus Smith will be the finisher, number 23, who's shown many games, even in the Six Nations, that he can pull a rabbit out of the hat. Should the team need him to do that? So really interesting to have him there. Antonina Brown gets called into the team at number 22 due to an injury, and finally Damien McKenzie, D-Mac, the guy that changed the world for the All Blacks last week against Scotland, will be as well coming off the bench, just like Marcus Smith, with his entire weight of the nation on him to make a difference on the field. So this is really, really tight, really, really close. Boy, I really think that England's going to probably edge this one. I have a really bad feeling. But I wanted to say that the All Blacks win this one by 1. Yeah. Let's say 21 points to 20. Actually, 22 points to 21. Let me know your thoughts. So next up, we've got the final game of the big game of the week, I guess. I guess Argentina versus Scotland's pretty big too, but the team hasn't been announced as of this making of this video. So we're gonna just go through this. So Ireland versus Wallabies. Again, this is again very interesting game. The Wallabies has finally, thank you, Joe Schmidt, for putting the strongest team possible out there on the field for the Wallabies side. So we've got James O'Connor back, we've got Len Nikitau back. Some of the core pieces that saw a lot of success with the Wallabies against the Springboks, against the Lions is back in the fold. However, the Ireland side is trying out some new players. So with Andy Farrell at the helm back in the team, he's trying some new things with new things with these players, and a bit of So this would be really, going to the Six Nations. Andy Farrell probably wants a different setup. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. Prendergast is back at 10. So we'll have to see. I think the Wallabies have a good chance here to take this one. But yeah, everything hinges on how Carl Dixon interprets the 20-minute red card, I guess. I think Dixon should be fine. He's one of the better referees nowadays. He's really developed a lot. This will be in Lansdowne Under Road in Dublin. And it's going to be a little bit of rain, so potentially wet conditions there for the weekend. But overall, I think neither team will have a clear advantage in terms of rain. The Wallabies play a bit of rain here in Australia as well in the Rugby Championship and the Lions Tour, so it's not that big of an issue. And we'll have to see who's gonna really pull this one out. So for the Ireland team, Paddy McCarthy, a relatively newer guy, comes in number 1. Dan Sheehan stays at number 2, and Ty Furlong, the big boy, returns to the starting jersey at number 3. For the Wallabies, Angus Bell, absolutely outstanding every game, comes in number 1. He's almost 50 caps. Oh my goodness. I got Matt Fazler comes in number 2, who has been great for the Wallabies as well. And Ala Alatoa, who had a really outstanding Super Rugby season, gets the nod to start at number 3 this weekend ahead of Tanela Tupou. Tupou is not actually with the team at all. I think he might be injured. But Ala Alatoa is back at number 3. This will be an interesting battle at front. I don't clearly see an edge for either teams, but hopefully Angus Bell stick it to the veteran Ty Furlong and give us a little bit of advantage there on the loose side. In the locks now, we've got James Ryan comes in number 4. Ty Byrne, after the red card being rescinded, is back at number 5. For the Wallabies, Jeremy Williams comes in number 4, and Tom Hooper gets moved to number 5, opening up the blindside flanker position for Rob Valentini at number 6. Ryan Baird, number 6 for the Irish. Caelan Doris opening up the number 8 jersey for Jack Conan. He comes in at number 7. I think Van der Fleer is hurt, right? Van der Fleer must be hurt for him to... Is he hurt? Van der Fleer must be hurt for this to happen. But hey, some of the Irish fans probably let me know what's going on there. But Caelan Doris, someone as well who's been long-term captain of the Ireland team and went out for quite an extended period. It's only just been slowly getting back into the fold for the Irish side. And I think this might be his first start. Correct me if I'm wrong. This might be his first start for Ireland since the injury. And in the open side flanker position for him as well. Rob Valentini, like we're talking about, number 6. Fraser McRae, probably I think might be the best number 7 in the world right now, just carrying heavy backs for the Wallabies at the breakdown. The only guy who's working the breakdown seemingly these days, Fraser McRae. Finally, Henry Wilson will be finishing off as the captain for the Wallabies at number 8. I really want to see the Wallaby forwards do more of that, double forward, short ball style. Around the 10 channel, 9-10 channel that they did a lot in the in the Lions Tour and early in the Rugby Championship. Something we didn't see too much at all leading into the November International Series. Hopefully, I want to see a bit more of that, especially Harry Wilson, like some of the bigger boys, Harry Wilson and Rob Valentini, or Angus Bell and Ala Alatoa. Some of these combinations, I want to see a little bit more off there. Coming in at number 9 now, we go Jameson Gibson Park for the Irish team, who's been doing a lot of the decision making since, I guess, Johnny Sexton being out, and there's been a lot of inconsistencies at number 10 as well. So Jameson Gibson Park has done a really, really good job in terms of taking over that leadership position as the playmaker out of the jersey for the Irish. Jay Gordon comes in at number 9 for the Wallabies. I really think that his kicking game is a little bit off. Hopefully, some of that decision making will be taken away from him this week and given it to James O'Connor. Coming number 10, Sam Prendergast has been once again caught up to the team. He's been criticized a lot by the Irish media in terms of his inability to tackle. But yeah, he's back at the number 10 jersey. Crowley, after failing the All Blacks game, I guess he's basically, again, the rotation is comes through for him to be dropped down to the bench again. James O'Connor finally back for the Wallabies at the number 10. There's no way he's only got 27 test caps, right? That's no way. He's got more than that. 27 test caps? Really? They probably didn't have the record. They haven't got his records from like 2012 or something. There's no way he's only got 27 test caps. But yeah, I think they're missing a bunch of his caps from early in his career. But anyway, we've got James Lowe comes in at 42. 42 test caps for the 11 jersey. Harry Porter returns the number 11 jersey for the Wallabies. Number 12, Stuart McCloskey returns for the Ireland team due to obviously some injuries as well in the 12 jersey for the Ireland. And then we've got Robbie Henshaw comes in number 13. Len Nikitau finally gets called back for the Wallabies at number 12. Joseph Akuso Suali'i, number 13. I think Suali'i has been really left out a little bit without, looking a bit lost without Len Nikitau at 12, really setting up opportunities and giving that guidance of where he should be going as well. It is the two players has worked together as a group, as a partnership, getting better together, finding the right defensive pattern together for quite some time now. And without Ikitau, you can just see it. Suali'i is quite lost out there on the field, but it's good to see them back, and this will be a massive opportunity for them to belt some points in for the Wallabies. Coming on 14 for the Irish, Tommy O'Brien, and then for the Wallabies, finally Filippo Diagunu, the only winger I thought can make a good tackle, comes in number 14 for the Wallabies. I really thought that he deserved more time for the Wallabies. Number 15, Mac Hansen, former Brumby, for the Irish. And finally, Max Jorgensen is called him back at number 15 jersey for the fullback position. Outstanding under the high ball, just incredible player overall. The best prospect we've got in Rugby Australia today. Max Jorgensen in the fullback position. This is the second time he's starting a fullback for the Wallabies, by the way, for Max Jorgensen. Number 16 for the Irish, Ronan Keller. Number 17, Andrew Porter. At number 18, Thomas Clarkson. Again, loading out the bench. Andrew Porter will be looking at working on the angles on the bench position overall. Billy Pollard, number 16. Tom Robertson, number 17. And Zan Nongor, number 18. Zan's going to have a tough time on the bench, coming off the bench against Porter. Number 19, Nick Timoney? Or is it Tamoney? Nick Tamoney comes in number 19. We've got Nick Frost for the Wallabies at 19. Has been dropped down to the bench. Number 20, Kian Prendergast for the Irish. Carlo Tazzano, the finisher, comes in number 20. Again, the Wallaby has been really poor in terms of using their bench. Hopefully they get a bit more game time on some of these impact players coming off the bench. We had like Rob Vanatini for 15 minutes last week. We had, what's his name? Pete Samu with 10 minutes last week. Impact players really not giving their time. I really hope the coaches, learn to, manage the player properly again this weekend. But anyway, number 21, Craig Casey for Ireland. Ryan Olligan, number 21. Jack Crowley, number 22, getting dropped out. And Bungi Yaki, the finisher, to come off in the inside center position, number 23 for the Ireland. For the Wallabies, Ryan Olligan, number 21. Tang Edmund gets dropped out to number 22. And finally, Andrew Callaway, the AK, will be finished off the bench at number 23, covering pretty much the whole back line that he will be. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess if one of the centers gets injured, Diagunu will be going to center and Callaway will be going to the wing. But, this is... I really hope the Wallabies get this one up, because the Wallabies, I think this is, again, the strongest team they have. I think, if the coaches don't just troll us and not use the bench for 80 minutes or something, for 70 minutes, I think we're going to be fine. So, yeah, please just use the bench and give us what we wanted to see. And the Wallabies, please don't try to milk penalties and kick goals, and just go for the tries and give us a good show. You win, lose, or draw. So, yeah, hopefully the Wallabies win this one. Hoping that 32 points to 25, the Wallabies win this one. So let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. I might have to chop this video up to a couple of sections. It's getting quite long. But anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys for the reviews. Cheers.